Where relentless passion meets monumental rewards. Witness the awe-inspiring journeys of everyday champions as they go from unsung heroes to celebrated stars on Undercover Boss. Join us on Undercover Boss to see everyday dedication turn into big-time rewards. Don't miss the joy unfold. The first tale is about a worker whose impressive performance impresses even his superiors.
Oh, you got a busy day?
Yeah, unfortunately, we got a busy day.
Really?
So, about 120 stops altogether.
The 36-year-old Marcelo is a freelance courier for DHL in the UK. He was born in Brazil. Although Marcelo is self-employed, he is incredibly productive, with a delivery rate of 1 package every 2 minutes. Marcelo's commitment to DHL's customers is reflected in his remarkable work ethic and efficiency. The fact that he can keep up with such a hectic schedule demonstrates his professionalism and effectiveness as a messenger. Marcelo's work as a courier is vital to the success of the company, and it also allows him to provide for his family in Brazil. He is dedicated to his job because he feels obligated to help his struggling family financially. Although Marcelo is currently living and working abroad, he still sends nearly half of his salary home to help support his family. Marcelo carefully budgets the other half of his salary to cover his living costs in the United Kingdom. This shows how responsibly he handles money. The fact that he cares so much about his parents' happiness despite being far away from them is a testament to his altruism and the significance of family ties in his life. As Marcelo's undercover boss learns more about his arduous ascent to success in London, more questions surface about his motivation. When 21-year-old Marcelo first arrived in the city, he had neither the means to support himself nor the ability to communicate in English. However, he showed remarkable toughness and persistence. He overcame enormous challenges, such as finding work and learning the language and customs of a new country. The story of Marcelo's life is a monument to the resilience of the human spirit, since it shows how he went from being a young, inexperienced immigrant to an ambitious, diligent person carving out a successful existence in a foreign land.
By the end of the day, we gotta have this whole place down. And there's insulation up in there, so we gotta suit up.
An employee is shown wearing safety gear and working attentively on a building site in a striking illustration. The worker, deep in concentration, says that a flood at a military housing complex has resulted in an unprecedented workload of 74 hours in just 1 week. This finding is a moving demonstration of the employees' unwavering devotion and commitment to their profession, as they are helping to resolve the fallout from this sad occurrence. When asked about their former experience as a business owner, this employee candidly discusses the difficulties they encountered with money and debt. They worry about finding steady employment, prompting them to take on more shifts at their current occupations. This openness illustrates their steadfast resolve to overcome obstacles and establish a reliable source of revenue. This shows how determined they are to go above their financial difficulties and create a brighter future for themselves, as evidenced by their eagerness to go the additional mile and investigate novel avenues. Their ability to bounce back from adversity and make do with what they have is quite remarkable. Sheldon, the employee's supervisor, takes a major choice in light of the employee's extraordinary potential and undying loyalty. Sheldon gives them a promotion to the role of project manager because he's so impressed with their work and dedication. Sheldon offers a hefty bonus and commission advance of $10,000 to show his appreciation for the employee's hard work and to help pay off some of the couple's joint debts.
I'm afraid you wouldn't recognize it. I don't want to back things up here. So.
All right, buddy.
Dave is a hard worker who consistently puts in long hours at a physically demanding job. But he notices a striking lack of the promised levity at work. Dave is dedicated to his career, but the stress of it all and the lack of satisfaction in his job have taken a toll on him. Dave is discouraged by the company's promise of a delightful encounter and his own negative experience. In order to provide employees like Dave with a more fulfilling and enjoyable work experience, it is clear that the organization must address this discrepancy and find ways to introduce the promised enjoyment into the workplace. As part of his undercover mission, the CEO learns firsthand about the difficulties Dave faces in his day-to-day life. The CEO, for example, may see that there are no sport beverages available even though the weather is quite hot. This information demonstrates that the CEO understands the need of keeping employees like Dave properly hydrated and the rigorous physical demands of their jobs. The CEO understands the gravity of the situation and seizes the opportunity to improve working conditions by enacting a new policy. Thanks to Dave's initiative, a game-changing policy shift has been implemented, guaranteeing that all staff will have access to sports drinks throughout the hottest months. To recognize and reward Dave's unrelenting commitment, the CEO has announced a series of unprecedented actions. The company's dedication to its diligent employees is underscored by the CEO's announcement of a significant pay boost of 25 cents per hour for truck loaders. This increase in pay is meant to better their financial situation and give them a strong sense of stability and appreciation for all their hard work. But that's not the end of the CEO's kindness. The CEO goes above and beyond by creating a special scholarship fund for Dave's cherished grandchildren in the amount of $10,000. This extraordinary effort exemplifies the CEO's concern for Dave's loved ones and their future by stressing the value of education and opening doors to success for the next generation. The CEO shockingly gives Dave $25,000 to go towards a brand new automobile. The company's dedication to retaining top talent and improving the lives of employees like Dave is on full display in this unexpected gesture of generosity. Finally, in an episode of Undercover Boss, the nice and kind boss Klubeck takes on his second undercover job.
Spending time with you, you treat our guests like family.
Because in Cabo Azul, we are a family.
Yeah.
Which ultimately leads to a heartwarming act of charity. When Klubeck takes an active role in the lives of his dedicated employees, he does so with the intention of having a constructive impact on their situations and making a contribution to the joy they experience in their lives. During the course of his undercover mission, Klubeck had a chance encounter with a worker who is battling a sickness with a high mortality rate. Due to the gravity of the circumstances, Klubeck is footing the bill for the potentially life-extending cancer therapy that he is receiving. This act of generosity, which goes above and beyond the call of duty, is evidence of Mr. Klubeck's genuine care for the well-being of his workers and demonstrates that he goes above and beyond the call of duty. He demonstrates that he cares about the well-being of his employees and that he considers them to be more than simply a number by putting up the money himself. Klubeck has made the decision to extend assistance to another one of his diligent employees. As a pleasant surprise, when Klubeck finds out that a diligent worker is having trouble making ends meet because they do not have access to dependable transportation, he offers them a fresh new automobile. Because he recognizes the significant impact that owning a car can have on one's life, Klubeck goes out of his way to improve the mood of his dedicated crew and lessen the difficulties they face. Another heartfelt conversation takes place between Klubeck and a staff member who requires quick medical attention. Even though it could be prohibitively expensive for the company, Klubeck is willing to take on the responsibility of paying for the medical treatment of the employee. This act of altruism is more evidence of how dedicated he is to the success of his entire team. Klubeck exemplifies the guiding principles of his leadership style for the entirety of his undercover mission. His willingness to go above and beyond for his staff is evidence of the passion he has for their health and happiness.